Hi, this is Bobby again with some more Aliyah tips. Wanted to show everybody how to basically use the HMO or Kupat Cholim website. I have Clalit, so that's the only one I have access to. Before I get started, I'd like to show you the Google Translate. Has on Google Chrome, they have this button to use Google Translate to translate web pages into English. It works. It's hit and miss. But especially if there's a word you don't know, you can often get the idea of what it's trying to say just by doing this and sort of work out what do I need to do in order to be functional here. So I'm going to set this back to Hebrew. As you noticed, it does not translate the login information. The the two buttons down here, one says send me a code to my mobile. The other one says you can enter with a code and a password. And I'm going to pull this off screen so I can enter my information. Like everything else in Israel, this goes according to your TZ, Tudat Zahut number, which you will memorize like nobody's business. And it's really helpful if you memorize it in Hebrew too. Okay, so this is my homepage. This is telling me I don't have any appointments coming up. I don't have any recommendations that they want me to check out. I'm going to show you my medical information because I don't have anything that's really bad. Baruch Hashem. These are messages that they've sent me. This says that I received the results of a blood test, but it's been a number of months ago. I had looked at it, but it did not register that I had looked at it. Interestingly, the blood tests usually get back to you the same day here, which is really, I think, incredible. Also, even though this has a place to request appointments with nurses, at least before Corona, you did not have to have an appointment with a nurse. You simply went in from 7:30 to 9 in the morning, Sunday through Thursday, no appointment. You swipe your card. They give you a little card, looks like a credit card. You swipe in the machine. You say, I'm here for the nurse. And usually within 15 minutes or so, they get you in and, you go home. Same with doctor's appointments. Usually you're only waiting around, at least here in Mali Adumim, for maybe a half an hour as opposed to hours in the doctor's office in the U.S. The two tabs that I use most often are Tik Rufui EC, my personal medical file, and Sherute HaOnline, online services. So if I want to, the most common thing I would probably do is request an appointment with my doctor. Here it says you can request an appointment with nurses, but most of the time you go to Levafe Mishpacha, which is a family doctor or a GP for those of you from Britain. Levafe Yaladim or pediatricians. So I go over here and you get in your HMO. You will pick a doctor when you first get here. You can switch doctors within the HMO. You can also, I think, every 6 months, if I remember correctly, at least at this moment, you can switch HMOs completely if you're not happy with the one you have. Here's the green. Here are the days that he's available. Of course, the calendar goes from right to left, and Shabbat over here on the left, he doesn't work, and also he doesn't work on Wednesdays. So I just pick a day, and I can see all the times over here. I can see more times in the morning or more times in the afternoon. They work different hours every day, which kind of gives you a variety if you are working or if you do have time off in the middle of the day. There's a variety of different times. Since Corona, they've introduced the idea of a tour téléphonie, a appointment by telephone, but most of the time you'll be doing Hizmin tour, a request an appointment. By clicking this button, it will schedule me at 8:10, so I'm not going to do it. And they will also send you an email, telling you when your appointment is. They even introduced recently letting you know, when your appointment's coming up so that you don't have to wait in the waiting room. The next, probably even more common actually, is this button which says Pashut Levakesh meharofer ve'merpa'ah. Let's take a look at it in English. So I have online services. It says just ask your doctor and clinic. Really, it means it's easy to make a request from them. And I'm going to switch this back to Hebrew just because give you an idea of what the Hebrew is. Tofes Shva Esrei, more commonly called a Hit Chayavut, is one of the first things you need to learn here, which is there are many services which your Kupa will pay for it, even if they don't render them themselves. They will pay most of it, and you pay a small copay. Usually that copay has been about 33 shekels for most things, about $10, a little bit less. And so what you do is you get from your doctor first a hafnaya. Usually you have to get that from your regular doctor, your family doctor, before you go to any sort of specialist for anything. And then often accompanying that will be your hit chayvut or your tofes shvasre here. And that is, you pay your copay, and they give you a document that says, we've agreed to pay you the rest. Leave this guy alone. Unlike the U.S., they'll never bother you for a bill. You never get billed for something like after the fact. Doesn't happen. If you get billed for anything, it's right there at the doctor's, and they tell you up front it's going to be whatever it is. We've seen specialists privately for one thing, and it was like it's 150 shekels up front, and then you'll never hear from us again. The next item you should probably learn, mirshamim, which are prescriptions, which is the most common thing I think I do of anything, renewing my maintenance drugs. So I'm going to actually select that here. I'm going to say mirshamim. I want to request prescriptions. It's going to tell me, hey, you have some at the pharmacy already. Do you still want to request, make a request? And we'll see if this will translate into English. Just a moment. You have valid prescriptions for the following medications. Would you like to submit a request anyway? Yes, I would. Okay, now, maintenance drugs, they usually give you 4 months at a time. And so every 4 months you have to ask your doctor, hey, could you renew my prescriptions? You come in here and you do it online. Either I can renew all of them, or I can go pick and choose. So if I only want most of these I used one time and I don't use anymore. I only want to request my statin medicine, and I hit add. Okay, and it says sending down here, but I'm going to turn it back to Hebrew so you get an idea what it looks like. Okay, so now it's asking for my statin drug. And then I hit Shlicha, which I'm not going to do because I don't actually need it renewed at the moment. And that's it. And, the next day or so, I'll get a text from Clalit saying your doctor approved it, and you can come into the pharmacy. Drugs can be picked up either at your clinic's pharmacy, or they often have agreements with other chains. You do not need to bring your prescriptions with you. It is all electronic. So you just walk in and they say, oh, what do you want? Oh, you want to pick up your statin. You also do not have to take all the prescriptions. You can say, oh, just give me the statin. We often have prescriptions for stuff like we used once, or like the Ambien. I use it occasionally, so sometimes I need it, and sometimes I'd say, no, I don't need any. I'm not going to buy it. In general, drugs have been about, particularly my statin has been about 17 shekels. And so it's about $5 or so. A lot of prescription meds are very cheap here, but you're also getting often like the generic kind anyway. If you want to see, before you go and do all that, do I have anything? I can go over to my medical file and look at my prescriptions. And I can open this up. Tokef is the validity period, expiration. And so these first three, the period. This is July to August, 2020. It's past the period. Like I said, they give you for 4 months, but if you don't pick it up, then it expires each in turn. I have one that's still valid, and over on the left side here it says, have you already bought it? So I could have one that's valid, but I had already gone to the pharmacy and picked it up, so I can't have it. They will usually give them to you all. I believe it's all four at once. If you request it, you can request 1 month, 2 months, 3 months of your drugs when you go to the pharmacy. If you have these valid prescriptions, they'll give you like 3 months in advance, no problem. You just ask for it, and you have to go to the pharmacy less often. So that's cool. That's all I really wanted to show you on the site. Obviously, there are more things you can do with it, but those are the things that when you start off here and you need to go to the doctor, you need, like I said, maintenance medicines you're already taking. This is how you do it, and it's very easy. Once you've done it online and set it up, you just walk in and like I said, you give them your card. They know exactly what you're there for. Okay, I wish everyone hatzlacha on their aliyah, and I hope this has been helpful.